Hi, welcome to Astro Journey UK. It's been a long time since I've done a video. Many different reasons, things like clouds, things like just not really feeling about doing Astro, and also converting a van into a camper van. However, I'm back. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a device from Move Shoot Move. So if you're interested in hearing more, then keep watching. So Move Shoot Move reached out to me and they said, was I interested in reviewing one of their products? And I said, yeah, absolutely. The product that they actually wanted me to review was originally the high precision phone adapter. So this is a device that you put onto your telescope when doing some visual astronomy, and you can attach your phone to it. However, a review will be coming on this shortly, but that's not the product that I really wanted to review. The product I really wanted to view was their star tracker, so I've got it here, which is the Nomad star tracker, and I was particularly interested in sort of seeing how this tiny, really lightweight device, how this compares in terms of its capabilities to a mount that I've already got, which is the Star Tracker or Star Adventurer Pro mount. If I can even remember what it's called. And yeah, that it was a fantastic opportunity. So that they kindly said yes, and they sent this device out. So I've been testing it, playing about with it, sort of getting used to it, understanding how to set it up and everything over the past couple of months. So past couple of months in Astro terms is not really that much time at all. It's basically wall-to-wall cloud apart from about 2 nights. However, there was also a comet that dropped by fairly recently, the C2023A3 Atlas comet, due for another appearance in 80,000 years' time. And so I used this star tracker to be able to take some longer exposures of the comet sort of over my local area. So what I'll be doing in this review is just running through very quickly what comes in the box, what I think is great about this device, anything that I don't think is good about this device I'll also be covering as well, how to use it, and just some images that I've taken with this device as well. One thing I need to do for legal reasons is explain the situation in terms of this review. So Move Shoot Move have provided me with this device. They've not paid me for this review. This review is purely my own opinion after using the device for a couple of months, and they're not reviewing or assessing what I actually say about this device. So they have no say in terms of what I actually put onto the internet here. So yeah, it is my opinion. So here are the things that came in the box when they shipped the Nomad to me. So you've got the Nomad itself. There's literally not really much to it, apart from, so you've got an Arc Swiss adapter at the bottom there. Attach your ball head to the front of the mount. There's a bit on the back to put the laser sight in to do polar alignment, but that's essentially the actual tracker itself. So you've got a laser pointer here as well. Just turn that on. It's insanely bright. It's the first time I've actually used a laser to do polar alignment. These things you have to be careful with. Just make sure that you're definitely not pointing it to any aircraft, but also you might need to check your local area in terms of if you're even allowed to use lasers. There's a battery charger for the laser pointer, so it comes with a rechargeable battery. That's all provided. You've got a USB-C cable in there, and also a little Allen key to be able to tighten up this little bolt that is on the actual mount itself, and a convenient carry case. That is essentially all you get in the box. No instructions. However, I don't think you fundamentally need them. I'll explain the setup process and how quick and easy it is you don't need instructions. So for the carry case itself, you can fit the Nomad tracker nicely in there. It's a suitably sort of padded case. You can just about squeeze in the laser sight here. However, what I'd recommend is if you do this, there is a piece of plastic that comes with this laser pointer when you actually purchase it to stop it from being accidentally turned on when it's shipping. I'd strongly advise putting that in there as well if you're going to store it in here, because it's going to be really easy for that to be accidentally knocked. And then also you could probably put in that Allen key into here as well, so everything's all in one place. It's a bit of a tight fit. It does feel like this case is really just designed for the actual Nomad itself. However, you can kind of squeeze everything in there. So the actual mount itself, how we get the ball head onto here is fairly simple. You just unscrew this, lift this out, and then you've just got standard sort of fixing for attaching cameras to plates and things. So my ball head that I've got here, just essentially this on first. A bit fiddly to actually do this on camera. Screw that into place. So you're making sure that this is nice and tight, and then you can use the Allen key to just tighten up as well to make sure that it's properly secured, and then this should be able to move freely. And then once you've got that, kind of put that on, and you can feel that it's resting in the notches of this gear, so it's not moving. And then you just tighten up that red ring just to secure it all in place, and then it's completely locked in place and ready to go. That's that simple. What we're going to do is just put this on the tripod, and then I'll explain it further. So here we have everything set up on the tripod. So you've got the Arc Swiss mount down here, which is taken from another one of my tripods. The actual ball head for this Manfrotto tripod is actually here. It looks a bit weird, but it is what it is. So yeah, we've got the Arc Swiss mount there that the Nomad tracker is connected to. Another ball head mount to connect to the Nomad tracker, and then the camera is just sitting on the top. So this is an example of the kind of payload that this was able to cope with. So I used this to photograph the comet, this lens and camera combination, and that tends to work quite nicely. Around the back here, you can see the laser pointer. So you unscrew the blanking screw for the Nomad tracker. The laser pointer is essentially like a generic laser pointer, and you've got an adapter screw that screws into the pointer and then into the Nomad tracker. That shines all the way through the device. There's a little hole there which the laser comes out of. One particular criticism is once you've got the camera on and the ball head, sometimes depending on how you've got this lined up here, you might find that it's obscured, but I didn't really find it being a particular problem, so that was all okay. So yeah, pointer for polar alignment. Actually round on the tracker itself, there's very little controls on here, which I think is actually its beauty. So you've got a switch that way for the northern hemisphere, and that way for the southern hemisphere, and then off, and that's it. You've got a USB-C charging port here. You can also connect that to a power bank and keep this going. But this lasts for a number of hours. I'll have to put it on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah. So you've got the ball head attached to the Nomad tracker itself, and then the camera on top of that. And then with the ball head, you've got the capability of just being able to move the camera around to wherever you want to point it. And that's essentially the tour of the tracker. So I'm just going to talk through the actual polar alignment process here. I've taken the camera off here because fundamentally that is the better thing to do. It's lighter weight, you can move this around a lot more easily. So you turn the laser light on, you can just about see it there. At night time, you'll be able to see the laser light sort of going up into the night sky and actually where it's pointing. Currently it's just pointing to my wall. First things first, make sure that the tripod is level. I've got a bubble on this tripod. Just make sure that's level, and then you're good to go from that point of view. Release the ball clamp so you can then move the actual whole unit around. And then all you're going to do is make sure that that laser light is resting on Polaris. And as soon as it is, tighten up the clamp and you're done. It's polar alignment is done in quicker than the time I've just taken to explain it. Just a quick note on polar alignment. I mean, I'm used to using the Star Adventurer Pro mount, and you have to look through the polar scope and make sure that the Polaris is exactly the number of minutes around that scope to make sure it's polar aligned. You don't need that level of accuracy for a lot of what you do. If you're using wide angle lenses, you definitely don't need it. I used a 200mm lens to image the comet. That was actually at about 170, 200mm. And with that sort of guiding setup that I've just talked you through, that is accurate enough to be able to have the shutter open, I think, for about 60 seconds at about 200mm. So this is definitely good enough. The other beauty is, if you're out shooting nightscapes and you take one particular composition and maybe the Milky Way is moved by that point and you find another composition, picking this up, moving it, repolar aligning is done within a minute, essentially. So it gives you so much more flexibility than using another star tracker which has a polar scope in it, and a lot more faffing around. So from this perspective, I absolutely love this device. So one other thing just to mention very briefly about this polar scope is, I mentioned some places can't use them. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you definitely can't use them because you haven't got anything suitable to point towards. There is an adapter that you can buy for this, a bracket that sticks out that you can stick your phone on and then use your phone to do the polar alignment. That seems to work pretty effectively as well. However, I don't need that, so I just went for the laser option, and that works super fast and is very effective. So just to finish up this review of the Move Shoot Move Nomad device, I just want to go through a few pros and cons. So the first pro I would say is this device is incredibly portable. I mean, just look at the size of it. You can kind of compare it to the equivalent that I've actually got, which is the Star Adventurer Pro. They're quite a bit different in size. This is significantly heavier as well. I'd argue this is more capable. It's got a higher payload capacity and things like that, and it's got more functions on here. But actually, in all honesty, I've never used those in terms of the extra functionalities. I've never stuck something like super heavy on there. This would actually solve what I need it to do. The other pro I would say is literally simplicity of this device. There is literally nothing to it, and I think that's the beauty of it. There's a charge port, and there's a northern hemisphere direction and southern hemisphere direction. That's all you need. Very simple to use, I would argue. Polar alignment is blisteringly fast with the laser in the northern hemisphere. Sorry, southern hemisphere people, if you're watching this. But yeah, you can use the phone attachment, so that's fine. Other things I would say, so that this is perfect sort of for nightscape shots. It's not really a deep sky astrophotography tool, so if you're looking for something deep sky, then the Star Adventurer might be that early entry for that kind of device, to be able to have longer lenses, etc. But for doing Milky Way shots and shooting images of the comet, for example, this device is perfect for that. I would say that this is quite an affordable device. There's not really that much to it. I think the only challenge is, you're just going to need to have your own tripod, which is the same with most Star Tracker devices. But also you're going to need to make sure that you've got the right Arc Swiss mount there. So you might need to go out and buy something else as well. but I'd still say this gets a point from an affordability point of view. And the other thing I quite like, this is really down to personal opinion, is the fact it's just a completely self-contained rechargeable device. The Star Adventurer Pro mount, I did have to go out and buy some sort of rechargeable batteries for it. Arguably as well, it does have a charge port, so I could charge it and power it in the same way as this device. But yeah, I quite like that. So onto the cons. Okay, I'm struggling to think of cons here. Just thought of another pro. Another pro to this is the speed of setup of this. I absolutely love this. Using the laser pointer, pointing it towards Polaris, and being able to polar align very, very quickly is a fantastic thing. Okay, so I'm really actually struggling for cons. I've been thinking about this for a good few minutes now in terms of what I would say. And the only thing I can really come up with ultimately is you've got the speed of polar alignment using the laser sight, but with that you do sacrifice some accuracy in terms of that polar alignment. So if you want to do some kind of super long exposures, then you're going to struggle with that. The reason why I kind of struggle with this as a con is actually the key market for this I see is sort of nightscapes and tracking the Milky Way and taking some wide field images, and you don't need super long exposures for that. So I don't really see that as really being a con, but I feel like I've got to come up with something here. I don't want to be a bit too positive about this. But yeah, I'm just going to end up with in terms of if you're in the market for a star tracker, you're doing nightscapes, you want something that's portable, super easy to set up, that also allows you to be able to recompose shots and sort of go, you know what, I want to actually be here instead of here. Then yeah, go with this device. I think this device is fantastic. I love the fact that I can literally just keep this in my camera bag and not even remember that it's really there because it's actually quite light as well. It's another pro. So yep, I'm going to leave this video at that now because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling. If you've got any questions about this device, you're looking to buy one or anything like that, then yeah, please leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Also, there will be a link in the description in terms of an affiliate link to this. I don't really rely on these things, but it's nice to get some money if you are actually looking for one. Then Move Shoot Move will give me a small amount of commission, but also there's a discount code there as well. So feel free to use that if you're looking to buy one. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, and clear skies.